Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Pete, Dream Warriors 86. You already hear that music because we're changing things up. We have wrestling, we have show updates. We're going to be maybe talking Han Solo. I got things to dump out of my brain that I just want to get into. I shouldn't even be here. I should be gearing up. I should be heading into the office, but we're doing morning with Pete, me, and you. You and I, we're in this together, everyone. Oh, and it feels good. It feels good to be back like this. So let's go. Okay, so the Dream Warrior show is constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. It's trying to be this. It's going to be that. It's trying. Okay, it's just this. They say a gathering moss. Rolling moss gathers no stones, right? That's what they say. That's as funny as a screen door on a battleship. Okay. Timestamp. It's like 9 a.m. We're maybe are we in April? April 12th. April's already blowing by. I love it. Okay, we're already doing things. We're kicking butt. Dream Warriors is expanding. You guys been listening to more and more Chris. Boy, holy crap. Okay, Chris's enthusiasm alone drives me. He's been sick the last week. I've been slow with rollouts. There's social media things, strategy that I'm trying to figure out, that I'm trying to plan. That like all of this is for the coming storm. And what's that storm? What are you speaking of, Peter? Because spring's hitting. We're in Philly. It's beautiful out today. Right now, as I'm talking to you, it is 69 degrees out. Okay, well, projected, not right now. But yeah, look. So there's just a lot cooking. Everything is slow with the rollouts when I'm doing admin back end work. And one of my favorite things people tell me that I love to hear is send it over to me. I'll help you, or you should get a assistant. Okay, I have no idea what any of that stuff means. When people say those things to me, it's essentially Greek. The reason why it's Greek or Mandarin or whatever foreign language, okay, it's because I've been hearing it. I've been hearing it for so long, everybody, for oh my God, for so long. Okay, I'm talking ever since like middle school, like freshman year in high school. Everyone's been wanting to participate in what Peter is doing, or they feel the creative like energy stemming up from our loins. They feel it all, okay? And what the heck, okay? Everyone, all of you out there, because I know some of you haters like to listen. All of you, you've fallen off one by one. You've disappointed me one by one. I've invested time into you one by one, and because of it, I've gotten a little jaded. It's hard for me to trust this right now. It took a while. It took some years, but this is where we are. So all of the rollouts have been slowed down. Everything on YouTube, everything on Instagram, and everything publishing wise. And this is because I've been committing all of my time to doing two things. And technically, I should be committing all my time to listing and shipping eBay. And that's another thing. Two things, though. One, Dream Warriors needs to be voice activated. It needs to be on Siri. It's on Apple Home now, but it needs to be on Spotify so I can get it through Amazon Echo, so Alexa can access it. Prime Directive number 1. I've unlocked that. I've figured that out. That should be coming soon. Dream Warriors will be accessible through voice. Me and you. My voice activated by your voice. You can't beat that. We're officially in the future once that happens. Now, once that happens, Dream Warriors will eclipse nearly every single major distribution network, period. So the only thing Dream Warriors needs is more Dream Warriorites, more of you telling you and your geek friends what we're doing here, understanding what we're doing, communicating with us, spreading the word. You can do it. I do it all the time. I'm in a meeting. I blur it out. People are like, what are you talking about, Pete? I'm like, it's a podcast. Give me your phone. Subscribe. Okay, so number one. Prime Directive number 2. Okay, that's been occupying everything. It's been critical. This is something I've been struggling with for a few years now. Side note, shout out to my buddy John, aka Anzio, aka Temple Owl, on on the IG. I'm wearing his Jar Jar Binks watch right now. I just looked at it. I just want to give him a little shout out. Prime Directive number 2 is getting back into the flow of drawing to a level where it's truly subconscious. And this has been a struggle of mine, especially like through my run of being single. It was impossible while I had a girlfriend, while I was living with one. There was no way for me to access that type of flow state living with someone. Look, she was great for like the time. She's still a great person, but kind of vampire, kind of sucked the life out of her life, sucked the life out of my life. Okay, so that wasn't going to happen. So the last 2 years have been a real struggle, and I've been working on techniques to harness this, to get it going, to to reach down into my gut and hit it. And you know what? I think it happened last night for the first time in a long, long time. I was dressed. I did the IG story, aka Pad 13. If you want to follow Doc Watso, do that. Follow Chris too, because Chris is a dream warrior. He's not going anywhere. Okay, so I did the IG story. Say, hey, I'm doing this. I'm doing a live art feed on this panel. I'm going to finish this page, but I'm doing this before I go to the gym. My only slowdown from at that point was my phone's having to charge. But the other curveball, and look, if you live a life where you're not constantly getting curve balls, and you're like bobbing and weaving and ducking and just constantly, it's like life is like dodgeball, but with hard balls. If you're not constantly doing that, like high and low turmoil type thing, okay? If you're not constantly doing that, you're really not pursuing life. You're not trying to do things. You're just there. You're sucking up my oxygen. You're feeding the tax bracket unceremoniously. You're not creating. You're not trying to get jobs for people. You're not creating. But anyway, so I hit this flow state while I had a friend of mine on speakerphone. You know who you are, blah, 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 blah. Very long conversation, very, great conversation. I like how the nature of those conversations. I moved the needle forward, and, sometimes even with basic talk, exercising the demons through just like typical basic talk. I know I'm being elusive. It can work wonders, just in your being and energy. So, my gym closes at 9. I was supposed to leave at 9:30 at the latest because I've been doing targeted strength training workouts. So 30, 45 minutes has been my max. Okay. Yeah. I didn't get off the phone until like maybe 11:30, 11:45. But the I cranked out this panel that was essentially a complete special effects panel. You can see the panel now on AKAPAD 13 IG stories. Like, look it up, find me, finding, waiting, looking for you, because that's what you do on social media. You wait for people, and check it out. But so hitting this flow state, Okay, and Prime Directive 2 has been so important because I just have to do Kickstarter. I before the end of this month, I have to launch a Kickstarter. So everything of mine, I've just been pouring everything into it. Like, I'm talking incentives, I'm talking budgeting, I'm talking shipping logistics, every single little facet. Period. I'm digging for. Okay. I'm digging, I'm figuring it out, and that's the process of that. So, but here's the thing. Once Kickstarter number 1 launches, number 2 is advertised within Kickstarter 1, because we're drawing comics, we're doing comics, we're putting the 90s back in the comics. The 90s never died when it comes to Dream Warriors, and that's why we have this name. Because it goes back to a time. That's why we use pink and green and these bright neon colors. I'm talking to you now in a Jar Jar Binks watch wearing a bright pink V-neck sweater. Because I put my money where my mouth is. This attitude, this idea I'm projecting, that I'm formulating, it is through my veins, coming through the mic, through airwaves, Bluetooth, whatever, into your ear, soaking into your gray matter, because it's authentic. You do not fake it up until this point. There's no 90s position. There's no 90s stream to tap into for subscribers and comments and growing. No. This is me. This is a little bit of what I feel the mission is. And it brings me back to that scene in Iron Man with Pepper Potts. Iron Man 1, still the greatest Marvel movie. And she's challenging Tony Stark about what he's doing. And he breaks down and he tells her there's only one mission. There's only this. There is none of this other stuff you think we're about. That's over. It is only this now. Yeah, that's a little bit of it. So that's what's been occupying everything. Voice activated Dream Warriors Kickstarter. Okay. But no, I will say this. If I have to toot my own horn, let me drink some of this iced coffee real quick. Let me drink some of that before I toot my own horn. But I do have to say that the level of production, art, illustration consistency now that I feel like I'm into. It's shocking to me. It's shocking that I feel like there's a lot of that back. I'm tooting my own horn, but some of the stuff just looks good. I know it looks good. I think compared to what's on the racks right now, I mean, it's there. I mean, it's there because it's a huge contrast to the momentum look-wise that the industry has. I mean, I'm working in a throwback style purposely, and I'm loving it. And man, like every time I do it, I just say to myself, like, a lot too. It's like, what happened to the threads, to the currents that were created by the 90s comic book wise? I mean, were things maxed out? Like kind of like with some visual notes with like giant proportions and vascularity for the male figures, and the way how they drew women, and like the endless hair and the leather jackets, the pouches, like all of it, like like the giant tech. I don't know. I feel like the industry shifted not through consumer demand. I feel like the comic industry shifted through editorial meddling. And what happens is excuse me. So my phone goes off, and literally as soon as I touch it to bring it to me, 4 or 5 other messages roll right in. So okay. I kind of lost my train of thought there. We're just blurring audio because I'm already audio editing and engineering this as I'm going along. So I'm describing the effects, but I'm simply just putting one sound timeline on top of another, so it blurs into each other. But yeah, so that was a good pause because like I did kind of want to talk about wrestling and what like it was a huge WrestleMania for me this year because it took me my it kind of does a little bit go back to my ex and I got into wrestling like together. Like it was something I was familiar with. At that point, I'm talking going back maybe like 4 years now, maybe more. Up until that point, my only meddling with wrestling was working with the wrestlers through the comic shop days. Shout out to Hall of Heroes because we won you back in South Jersey, but probably never coming back. Shout out to Hall of Heroes. And so we would do wrestling signings and did local stuff. ECW was prominent still back then. It was at the final stretch ECW, but that quickly went into combat zone wrestling, so on and so forth. So up until that point, like my buddy and I, John, like we loved Goldberg. We were into NWO. During the Monday Night Wars, what they call the Attitude Era. For us at the time, it was just wrestling. And that was it. So that was like 97 to like 99, and then I started like working for real, and I would just never be home for wrestling at all. And could never wanted to pay money for the pay-per-views. So when I moved to Philly, Comcast actually had like a wrestling network, like a WWE channel that literally had it was an awesome. Like they were updated like every couple of weeks, and you would get maybe like a WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble, usually from like the same year. But then you would get the broadcast of Nitro versus Raw, and they would release one episode of each like every week, and that was like amazing because you could just watch the episodes back to back and compare. But they had commentary, and they don't have the commentary now on the channel. But when I moved into Philly, holy crap! It blew my mind, and it instantly just made me want to start drawing like some of the wrestlers in somewhat of this like cartoony style of mine. And that kind of helped me get back into maybe like drawing and thinking about drawing like on a regular basis. A lot of these drawings are on my IG feed. There's one series I started that I'm finishing, which is my Triple H series, but it's just for fun. And it's just something that like I enjoy, and I really do like working in that style because it's blockier and it's brush. And when it comes to comic book inking and comic book illustration, to me, it's brush or nothing. It's crow quill or nothing. Like get some of the other stuff sometimes if you need it for a little like push or if you're trying to be quick. But if it's not those materials on the paper, oh my God, it's hard for me to take it seriously. I don't care how good you are. It really is. And that's just me being a psycho. But okay, so like since my breakup, so like my ex and I, like we would kind of just watch wrestling, and we like guys like CM Punk and Ryback, and it was like the emergence of the female like the women's revolution as they called it, but they were pushing more things out through the women's side through NXT, and it was like this nice little like time to get back into it, a nice little convergence type thing. But okay, so since like being single, like I kind of like you get these things and you get these ideas, and like as a guy, like when a man I'm going all over the place here, everyone, but when a man becomes single, okay, if you're of the right state of mind, okay, and it's state of mind, it is strictly your receptors and how you are filtering the world, okay. But if you're in the right state of mind, you speed like you're on like a speedway, okay, and you're going 300 miles an hour, and the rest of the world is just chugging along. And the reason why you accelerate yourself on this level is because if you're a single man in this world, especially now because choice is so prevalent, you have to accelerate yourself in all fields, in all disciplines, simultaneously. So it is literally, it's a launch pad shooting into the stratosphere, like getting into outer space, hitting deep space, like beyond the moon, moons of Saturn. We're going to Titan. We're going everywhere. Okay. And that's got to be your attitude. And the reason why I'm saying this and the reason why it's important is because you have to grow as a human being. You have to try and be more complete when you're a single man, because you have to have, like this authenticity of being congruent, thought and action aligned. You have to be self-aware. You have to, like worry about how you look. Okay, women don't have to worry about these things. They don't have to focus on these things. But you, as a single man, you have to better yourself. This is why, like, the self-help industry is driven by male authors, male gurus, male influencers, and is absorbed by men. There is a reason for that. Okay, so that was the path I set on. So some of these dumb, stupid ideas I got into my head, which is, for some reason, I was like bitter about the Super Bowl post breakup because, we used to do Super Bowl parties, and that's just how you go sometimes in your emotions. Okay. And so I just wanted to do like Super Bowls where I had a girl over, I would like make food, and then it would be Super Bowl and sex. And that kind of happened immediately post breakup. Following the next few Super Bowls, not this past one. Actually, the last two. Well, no, technically, just this past one. But, and that's because we were moving back in here and we had to do it. And there was no way I could do anything with the girl because it was the remove day, or the moving, hashtag not moving day. So, and Mark, contributor to the podcast, definitely it was a superstar home run hero for that. But anyway, so logistically, having a girl over for this Super Bowl, just not there, but there was kind of like hot Super Bowl sex around it. Okay, and doing this with Wrestlemania for some reason eluded me in the last 2 years. Like, oh my god, guys, especially the one last year. This year it happened. Holy crap, fireworks. Awesome. I kind of wanted to get that monkey off my back because these are the things I felt like I should have been doing with my ex that we weren't doing. And I feel like I have to do it. Do it just to move on. Do it just to say I did it. And then it's over. And we can all get on with our day. So that's how, that's my arc in wrestling. But no. I've been battling doing regular wrestling updates or adding wrestling to Dream Warriors. This most likely would be like a Wednesday night type show where I guess like I could go through what some of the other wrestlers are doing with their podcasts or outside media versus what's happening with the pay-per-views with some of the other like talent, again, like not just focused on Brock Lesnar, but maybe go through some of the talent, go through some of the things I'm seeing as of the creative level of it, and and maybe highlighting better decisions, like the good decisions they're making, and maybe some analysis on the company. I think all the wrestling commentary, like all of it, is just kind of like woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's all like people who are not involved with like the company anymore with WWE, and they just seem to have sour grapes and they're crying and they're acting like they know about some of these decisions, and it's a very similar to what's happening with film review. Like people act like they know what decisions were made and how things end up the way they are, and if that's where you're coming from, it's easy to get fevered. It's easy to to act like it could have went another way. Sometimes the way it goes is the only way it could have went. And that's just logic. Like, sorry to shock you, but that's just logic. But okay. So anyway, I've been battling. I would like to do more of a WWE, wrestling type show, and maybe it should be every Wednesday. But the other thing I'm battling is Chris and I. We stockpile so much content. How that versus my own rollouts, because I like doing the morning. I like talking to everyone in the morning. I love it so much. And I love doing the stuff late at night. And I haven't been doing that because Chris and I have been stockpiling episodes and rolling through things so quickly. And a lot of it too is to give Chris training wheels. So because I got plans with Chris. So anyway, there was just a lot of that happening. It's some of it's easier said than done. There's a trial and error period. When you go through as much as I go through, like just the drawing alone, but you have like full-time illustration, and then you're adding YouTube and podcasts and a 9 to 5 and a super active social life on top of that. And you compile these things. You're paranoid about wasting time and wasting opportunities to record something. It's constantly it drives you crazy, okay? And you do get paranoid. And you try and minimize that. You try and limit it. And that's some of the growing pains with Chris. It's like, do I feel like Chris and I wasted episodes? Do I feel like we wasted opportunities? Were points not made? Oh, and everyone, here comes Dallas, coming up from his slumber. It looks like he slept for an hour. Dallas, your tail is crazy fluffy. Oh my God, it's looking huge today. Dallas, you gotta eat your food. Dallas hardly ate any of his beef food today. Yeah, Dal, we're talking about you. But yeah, so, but am I willing to chalk it up to a growing pains? Am I willing to say, look, this conversation about this movie could have been better. Could have been better. I think it sucks. Is it going to get published? Yes. Why? Because I want to document it, and I want us to be able to go back and look. And I want anyone that goes through our library to see a progression, to see effort into making it better, period. Okay? And however that's defined, that's a scale. We define it different ways at different times, depending on what we feel our needs are. So, there you go. But okay. So, those are some of the things. But WrestleMania, total home run. Loved it. I can't believe it's a 5-hour broadcast. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that they have the level of control, design. There's just like a lot of love and pageantry that rolls through WrestleMania anymore. I was kind of the one thing I was a little no celebrity, no real big celebrity appearance. I can go through the matches, but Daniel Bryan, I don't think disappointed. Ronda Rousey, complete home run. Brock Lesnar, God, I love you. It's so easy. I don't understand people that don't like Brock. AJ Styles, amazing match. Everything with the tag teams, both different belts. The women rocked. Alexis Bliss and Nyla. Oh my God, that was a hell of a match. That match told a story. That might have been the best match. That might have been the best story for the entire night. But so I don't know. So maybe more deeper wrestling analysis that will put me down to. Wrestling maybe lead into us talking about the NFL and football and sports. Potentially. I don't know. I want Dream Warriors to splinter. I want it to be everything, but we need to stick to the basics too. And this is where just, again, my eyes, my ambition, my drive, it's almost like a demon inside of me takes the steering wheel and just skirts into another direction. But okay. So, the other update is we're on Anchor. Dream Warriors is on Anchor. And holy crap, I love using the app. I did 2 reviews. I'm in feed turmoil now because Anchor created one feed on iTunes, and I need the 2 feeds now to merge. Because one feed is created by SoundCloud and the other one's created by Anchor. But I need to get that rectified. I mean, technically the Anchor feed does more than SoundCloud, and it's free, and it takes me off of paying for SoundCloud Premium. But I like paying for SoundCloud Premium, and I like things there because I'll pay for it if it's at least saved and cataloged. So anyway, but we're on Anchor, and Anchor is a mobile podcasting app, and it's really cool because I've been using it for shorter reviews and shorter, like I did Friday Night Lights, and Mark and I did John Wick 2, and there's going to be more coming from that. Okay, so and I can conference people in, I can do phone calls. So Anchor is going to be, we're going to explode with Anchor. Anchor is just going to fill that feed up even more. So I don't know if Dream Warriors annoys you or whatever. We're sorry, but if you love this stuff and you just want analysis and people loving it and loving it as much as you, and talking about it as much as you maybe want to talk about it with other people, or just hear different ideas and insights and takes, because Dream Warriors, there's a lot of unique takes. Like we don't sit down unless I think we have a position on something. Okay, period. Anyone will tell you, like, I don't like just to sit down. My position was to maybe wet the whistle a little bit with the Wrestlemania WWE pro wrestling talk, to give you updates, and to maybe get back into the rhythm of doing these things in the morning. But I don't know. I just it's a lot. My brain just races. That's why I love doing these things in the morning, because my brain's just on fire. And I know you guys are feeling it. But look, let me get going. Dream Warriors 80. Can you believe it's 86? I can't believe it's 86. But we're at Dream Warriors 86. And I thank everyone that is still a part of the show. I mean, and when I mean a part of the show, I mean if you're there listening, because it's all for you. And we got Infinity War coming up. Okay, too much happening. I'm going to go. Everyone have a great day. Find me on AKAPAD.com. And you can get it on my social media there. So maybe I'll just start pushing that. But everyone, have a great day. Dream Warriors. Whoa. We got something special for you. We got something. Here we go. Dream Warriors. Episode 86. It's you and I, Pete and Repeat. We're here. We're talking wrestling, show updates. That music's running right now. And I just can't wait. Let's get to it, everyone. Ooh, I can't wait to talk to all of you. I shouldn't even be here. I shouldn't even be recording. But this is Dream Warriors 86. I'm going to get into that. We're talking all kinds of everything. Here we are, Dream Warriors 86.